Welcome to Fully Loaded.
Have you ever wondered how to get the most out of your pit boss? Welcome to Fully Loaded, where I teach you how to unlock the full potential of your pit boss grill. Learn new recipes and pick up strategies to cook full meals. Load those grills to the max and unleash flavor like never before with expert tips and tricks. Pit Boss Fully Loaded is your ultimate grilling guide.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Fully Loaded. Today we're going off grid. We're going to be playing with our battery powered portable and our 3-burner tabletop. We're going to be doing quesadillas made with leftover brisket. And then here in our battery powered portable, we're going to be making some bone-in filet mignons that are about 2.5 ounces each, provided by Linz Meats. And we're also going to be making some sausage burn-ins provided by Johnsonville. So without further ado, let's move right into packing our cooler for our tailgate. All right, guys, the first thing that we're going to do before we head out to the tailgate scene, we're going to pack our cooler. I got a couple of things that I like to mention when I do pack my cooler. Here we have a little portable cooler people normally like to put their drinks in. This is really small. This is what we're going to be putting our food items in. And I'm going to show you as we pack the cooler how this is going to help your food from getting waterlogged or water getting into your food or close to it, you know, not getting a long enough shelf life out of it. So here's all of our ingredients that we're going to be packing for today. Notice how I keep things in a Ziploc bag. This is also going to keep from cross-contamination. We don't have any raw chicken or anything like that. But again, trying to keep everything separate. So if packages do break from dropping the cooler or moving around suddenly, we don't have to worry about anything contaminating our ice that our drinks are going to be sitting in. So what I like to do is take my little portable cooler, set it right inside my large cooler, and then I can put my perishables or raw food ingredients right inside of here. So just to make the example, a little bone-in 2-ounce fillets, great for tailgating. That'll go right in there like so. And all of our little toppings and sauces and things like that, we can just set right over the top. Now that you got it there, I don't really worry too much about zipping it. Now we can move into putting our drinks over here, and then we can ice it down. And then all of our cold stuff that's inside of here, we don't have to worry about it losing temperature. Move this out of the way. I'm packing food and drinks for roughly about 3 to 4 people, just going out for a day. An important thing to remember is if you go out longer, you can use a larger cooler and a larger box, and you can feel free to pack frozen food inside of your food compartment in order to stay out longer without worrying about food spoilage. Plenty of water, got a few pop. Never gonna forget the first time that I did this. I had a disaster out at a camping site off grid, and I had a package of chicken that I had on top of the ice. And in transit, the package broke, yielding that most all of my drinks were contaminated with chicken, which isn't gonna sit well with your belly. So moving forward, when I started packing my coolers, I tried to keep my food separate from my drinks. Another great pointer to know is that when you are packing your cooler, anything that is pre-chilled drink-wise, you're gonna get a longer life out of your ice. And there we go. Cooler's packed, ready to throw it in the back of the pickup and rock and roll. right, guys, first recipe we're gonna work on today. I removed some leftover brisket out of the freezer to do on today's tailgate. If you're curious as to how we made that brisket, you can refer back to one of our episodes called The Big Three, and that'll teach you all about how I did this brisket. We're gonna be preparing this brisket quesadilla with mixed peppers and onions and a little bit of our GSP seasoning along with our competition blend seasoning. Let's get right into it. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove my peppers and onions from its bag. Try to keep everything together so we can stay nice and organized, and again, it helps avoid cross-contamination. Got a little bit of whole butter here that we had packed, so I'm just gonna pop that on there. Maybe about 2 tablespoons of butter, peppers and onions. There we go. This brisket was thin sliced, probably about 1/4 of an inch thick. I just folded it and put it right into the food saver bag before I froze it. Just kind of keeps it from freezer burning. Notice that my griddle, I have one side off and I'm preheated to low on the closest side to me. This is just gonna help go slow and low. We don't want to burn our veg. We're just trying to get it sauteed. A little bit of competition blend, a little bit of the GSP. Not worried about chopping up the brisket at all. Looking for a nice bite and a cheesy quesadilla. So we're just looking to warm this through and sweat our veg through. We'll move it off to the cold side before we drop our tortillas, start melting some cheese. More. All right, now we're ready to move right into dropping our tortillas and adding our cheese. I'm just gonna slightly warm it on one side and I'm gonna flip, and then we're gonna add our cheese, and then we're gonna add our filling and then fold it over and make it real nice and crispy on both sides before we move it from the griddle. Right here I have about a pound of shredded mozzarella. I like my quesadillas cheesy. All the way to the edge. No empty spots. Now we can move in to somewhat portion our meat and peppers and onions onto our quesadilla. It's a really great way to utilize some leftover brisket that not everyone was able to eat. Now that our cheese is starting to melt, just gonna flip that over like so. Look at that. Notice my flat top is starting to lose a little bit of heat. I'm just gonna kick it up about 1/4 of a notch, and we're just gonna let this go slow and low till we're nice and golden brown and crispy on both sides. All right, while we wait for our quesadillas to get crispy on both sides, just want to talk about our portable cutting board from Pit Boss. Not only is it portable and lightweight and durable, it has a really cool little pull-out drawer where you can put your disposable flatware, hand towels, and napkins in. Just save space. That collapses right back in on itself. Throw it in the back of the pickup, ready to rock and roll. That is a serious quesadilla, folks. Alrighty guys, it's time for the fun part. That cheesy goodness. All that brisket love, lots of melted cheese. Oh my goodness, folks, look at that. Today we're going to be serving it with our charred tomato salsa that we had made on our Mother's Day episode. Easily watch that episode, find out how easily that's made and brought out to your tailgate. All right, guys, time to move into our next recipe. We are going to be making some sausage burn-ins on our battery-powered portable from Johnsonville. Let's get into it. These particular links that we are using today is their rope sausage, and which is raw. It is their Polish kielbasa. Don't really need to do much with this. All we're gonna do is pop it right on the grill, and we're gonna put some color on it, somewhat char it up on the outside. Then we're gonna cut it into pieces, and we're gonna put it in a pan, and then we can go right into the details of the recipe when we get to that side. We're right at 300 degrees on our battery powered portable, and we're just gonna set these right on the top grate and let it do its thing. We got these rolling about 300 degrees. We're just gonna be looking for a nice even color. We're not necessarily trying to cook the links all the way through. We're going by color on this one before we chop it up and add our sauce and back onto the grill. But in the meantime, I'd like to touch on a couple of things that I really like about this unit. Personally, when I do take this thing out camping on a fully charged battery, I can cook 2 times a day and come back after a 3-day camping session, and my battery power is still right at about halfway full, and the pellet hopper is still about halfway full. So it's incredibly efficient, and it's definitely something to consider if you normally go off grid, go hunting, fishing, camping, or even tailgating like how we are today. All right, guys, now you can see the aromas in the air. We're just gonna continue to flip these things and look for the color that we're looking for. Oh yeah, look at that, folks. Probably about 7 minutes on that side. Now we're gonna flip it and probably do another 7 minutes. Then we're gonna cut it into our pieces, and we're gonna add our sauce, and we're gonna put it right back on there and get them. All right, guys, we're about 7 minutes on each side of our sausage. You can see the color. This is the color we're going to be looking for. The casing has somewhat broken, but it's okay. We're making burn-ins with this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these from the grill to our pit boss cutting board. I'm just going to let them rest momentarily, simply because it's easier to work with. Oh my goodness, looks delicious. Look at this, guys. All right. That's about what we're looking for. Just gonna let these rest for a few moments, and then we're gonna move right into cutting them into pieces, and we'll sauce them up. All right, guys, moving into the next step of our sausage burn-ins. We've let these rest for about 4 to 5 minutes. They're gonna be a little bit easier to handle now, but be careful, it's still hot. Just gonna be cutting these into probably about a 3/4 of an inch little rondos. If you'd like it to be smaller, you're more than welcome to chop them a little bit smaller, or you can split your link down the center before you cut them. This is just perfect for a little toothpick snack as you hang out at the tailgate party with your friends and family. Right. Now at this point, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar right over the top. We'll do about the same amount in whole butter. We're gonna go with about 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce. A little secret thing that I like to do, use your favorite pop. Today we chose Coca-Cola. Just gonna hit that with about 1/4 cup of soda. When we get our hands dirty, we're just gonna give it a nice little mix and once over. You're not looking for it to be terribly thick yet. We still gotta cook for about another 20-25 minutes right after we get this nice and mixed together. Now that we're nice and mixed together, we're gonna go right back onto our battery powered portable, and we're gonna move the temperature up to 350 degrees. We're gonna stir occasionally. We're gonna go for about a 20 to 25 minutes, and we're going to show you what it's supposed to look like when our product is done. I'll put that right on the top grate. We can close the lid. We're going to go right back up to 350 degrees. All right, guys, just been a touch longer than 25 minutes. We're right at about 30 minutes. We've done stirred twice. This is our ending product and what we're looking for. Careful, contents is hot. So we're just going to lift this right out onto our board. As you can see, most of the liquid has cooked off and the sauce has become quite viscous again. But this is what you're looking for when it comes to a burn-in, folks. So straight out of this pan so nobody gets burned, I'm gonna put it right into our bowl. All right, more times than not, some people just like to dig in right here, but when you got something that's rich as this, I like to garnish with something that's slightly acidic. What I have here is some pickled banana peppers, mild. You're welcome to use a pickled jalapeno, a pickled onion if you'd like. And I just kind of put this on there so you can kind of stab it with your toothpick or your fork, get a little bit of a bite of each. not only am I putting the pickled peppers on there, I got a little bit of shaved onion that we did right before we left the house. Garnish just like so. You can eat it right out of the bowl just like this with a toothpick or fork, or you can get some sweet Hawaiian rolls. You can have little burnt-in sausage sliders. How about that? And there you have it, folks. Sausage burnt-ins. Sausage provided by Johnsonville. Now it's time to move on into our next recipe. Time to move on to our final recipe. Not to be partial, I love all the recipes that we made today, but this next one, going right out of the package onto the grill. It's a quick, fast, easy bite to eat while you're tailgating. Let's get right into it. So what we have here are 2.5 ounce bone-in filet mignon chops provided by Linz Meats. You can easily buy the same cut off of their website. We are going to be using these chops and making a trio today. So we're going to be using some of our sweet heat, our GSP, and last but not least, our smoked salt and pepper blend. So simply all we're going to do is we're going to unpackage. All right, so all I'm gonna do, each package comes with 4 little bone-in chops like so. I'm just gonna line them up in our aluminum tray here. While we're doing this, take notice that our battery-powered portable is preheated to 500 degrees. This is gonna be a quick, fast, and easy pickup. You can cook these things as rare or as well done as you like. The texture is still going to be just as tender. All right. 1 clean hand, 1 dirty hand to work the product. We're going to do 4 with our sweet heat. Healthy coat on each side. Next one's going to be our GSP rub. Nice even coat on each side. On the next 4. Smoked salt and pepper on the last 4. Nice even generous coat. Feel free to use your favorite marinade on these things. Keep in mind when you're tailgating, the least that you got to do, the better off you're going to be. Now that we're at this point, simply just going to grill these things off at 500 degrees in line. We're gonna let these grill for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side, and then we're gonna remove them, let them rest, and we're gonna get right back to tailgating. All right, guys, we're literally just 3 minutes into this grill. So all I'm gonna do is give it a nice little once over. We're just gonna let them sear for a little bit on the other side, and we should be ready to rock and roll. All right, folks, as you see how quick, fast, and easy that was. Simply gonna pull them off in the order that we put them on. Absolutely delicious, folks. Go ahead and turn this off so we can run its cool down cycle. Always like to garnish with a little bit of fresh onion, grilled steak on the go. It's a nice little add. And there you have it, folks. Bone-in cocktail fillets. All right, there you have it, folks. Another fully loaded in the books. We did a tailgate with our battery-powered portable and our 3-burner tabletop griddle. We made a leftover brisket quesadilla with house-made salsa. We also made some sausage burn-ins with sausage from Johnsonville, as well as some bone-in filet cocktails, compliments of Linz meats. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment below and let us know what you want to see on future episodes. Until then, have a nice day.